look at the value that EduSphere 360 can add to our lives. Thank you. Kevin, would you like to take over? I think Jane will allow you access now.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. As Erica said, my name is Kevin Waddis. I hope you're all well. Welcome to this transformation session and this opportunity platform. So just from my side, I'm going to be introducing a couple of concepts and metaphors and analogies briefly, and then Blessing will end off at the end. We both represent a company called EduSphere 360. And our job really is to support you over the next month or so with your endeavors to transition from the YES program into a world beyond the YES program and one that represents some sort of employment. So thanks for your time and effort this afternoon. I'm actually going to read a couple of things so I stay on track, and we can keep to the timeline of 10 minutes on my side. But very briefly, Jane's put up a PowerPoint presentation which just represents our brand in a couple of slides. I think they're about 7 or 8 slides we're going to go through. So as you can see from the first one, we're really talking about supporting you in your transition. Jane, I think just if you could move along to the next one. Whoops. Okay, I think we lost the PowerPoint, but I'll keep talking. So essentially, EduSphere 360 is a new company. It's springboarding off the base of a company called Lead for Life, which is a 17-year-old, very successful organization that Blessing and I work for, and it's instrumental in South African schools and businesses and SMEs and NPOs, etc. If you have a look at that, holistic personal development platform. It just gives you a rough idea in terms of the amount and the degree of facets, the developmental areas that each of us need to pay attention to as we progress through life. So if I'm right, I know all of you in front of your laptops and iPads are heavily immersed in life learning, and you're very, very interested in increasing your personal growth and understanding yourself as much as you can. We always say it's the greatest possible gift that you can give yourself continually, to immerse yourself in personal mastery or personal development, and so that you can make great decisions going forward. So you find yourself in an incredible position right now, fantastic opportunity, which gives you the opportunity to make really, really, really healthy and wholesome decisions and empower yourself so that you can take you and your family forward as you progress. Thanks, Jane. Let's go to the next one. So EduSphere essentially, while we're waiting for the next slide, is a holistic personal development support platform, and we are predominantly focused on personal growth and personal leader development. So both your individual ability to lead as well as your ability to lead others. And some of you are looking to do that. All of you need to do it through building effective relationships with others, building a small business, and most often your success in a corporate is through doing the same thing, collaborating, being creative, getting the best out of the team, and therefore ultimately your organization. The iceberg analogy is just an introduction quickly, and it is also used to represent what materializes when people meet each other for the first time, even if it's on a webinar like this. So as you can see, what's striking about this iceberg is only about 10–15% of it is hovering above the waterline, is floating, and is observable if you are in the air and you can see the iceberg from land or from a boat or something like that. What you will not see unless you're a fish or a dolphin or something like that is that below the waterline is is absolutely significant. And that is the portion that people don't get to see about you very often. So the iceberg analogy represents those fleeting 30, 40, 50 minute conversations, introductions, when you stand out above the waterline in terms of your body language, your tone and your words, your tone and your tonality, your voice, in other words, and the words that you actually operate with. So that, along with that, is what represents you is your behaviors, your attitudes, your mindsets. So most often what we're asking ourselves here is if that is representing you on top of the waterline, what do I need to do below the waterline to re-engineer self, to reinvent, and really it's about having a look at your philosophies, your beliefs, your value system, etc. So we will see a slide coming up very shortly, which uses the expression that says, for things to change, I need to change. For things to get better, I need to get better. So ultimately, we're talking about pointing the fingers at ourselves and saying, let me be responsible. Let me take ownership. As you can see on the left-hand side there, it says, values and beliefs drive your behavior. So you need to make sure that they match your value system. Your behaviors match your value system. As we go through life, most of us are striving for some sort of an ideal self, a better self. And in order to do that, we need to ask all the hard questions. We need to soul search. And the iceberg analogy is one good way which helps you ascertain what exactly needs to change. Blessing's going to talk just now about your why. What is your why? What represents you? How do you go forward unless you know what your why is? What I'm working through here is really about the how. What can we look at? What can we use as an analogy or metaphor to support our go forward? Thank you, Jane. Next one. I'm going to show you two analogies quickly. And the first one is the pile analogy. And very quickly, it's another representation of the iceberg analogy, but obviously with more detail. 5 areas, there are actually 6. I've introduced another one, but I'll talk to you about that another time. Starting at the top, the first 3 are crucial. You can put a line under the third column or the third blue block. So simply it says, if you are out in the marketplace and people are judging you like they're doing, even in 30 seconds to a minute when you're meeting people for the first time, what are they getting in those body language and the tone of voice and the words? They're really getting the third band there. They're getting behavior, they're getting activity, they're getting actions. Now, when we look upwards, when we look back, those behaviors will tell us more about the person's attitude and their mentality. Their mentality and their attitude will tell you a little bit about their principles and beliefs rather. So it doesn't really matter who your teachers are or were, who your preachers are or were, who your parents are, who is your significant other. Somewhere along the line, you inherited a whole lot of principles and beliefs and values. Some of them, we argue, might not be serving us too well. So this is just a bit of an example. Blessing and I really hold this model close to our hearts because it explains a whole lot. And you'll get to know it a bit better as we go through the process. So point 1, point 2, point 3, those 3 to give you the 4th one, which is your results. And out of your results, you're going to be able to build some sort of a lifestyle. And I like to use the word fashion, a style of life, create, mold a style of life for yourself. So as you're sitting there in your home, or you might be in a restaurant, you might be out on your feet, you might be in your motor vehicle trying to get Wi-Fi, ask yourself a few hard questions about, is this the style of life that I'd like to create for myself? What can this opportunity that the Yes Foundation, that the Yes organization and Youth at Work have created for us? How can we transition better? Let's have a look at the final analogy here quickly in the next slide. Thank you, Jane. And simply, it's representing a set of behaviors and philosophies and beliefs and values that we all probably share in different ways. So I think the question is asked at the bottom, which says, where do I stand? Where do I spend my time and my energy? Where do I stand right now? So working from the bottom up, these are types of persona or personalities that all of us play every single day in greater or less forms. So the first one is the prisoner. So it's in orange because we can imagine prisoners are in orange uniforms, they're running around, and very often they are victims. They're victims of circumstances, or they didn't have the right upbringing. And while it's represented there in the words, the prisoner, it really means that you're not very proactive. You are blaming and complaining, and you are in the mode and the mentality of oh, woe is me, etc., etc. So you're fairly pessimistic, whether it's about South Africa or business or about opportunities. The prisoner, the person who spends a part of their day in prisonership, is really someone who you don't want to be in your circle. Having said that, hopefully we spend more time going up the curve, which is, let's talk about the passenger. Passenger very quickly says, look, I'm here for the ride. It's not my vehicle, it's not my boat, it's not my taxi. I'm not in charge of the driving mechanism of this vehicle. So let me just be along for the ride. Those people are also no good for you. And if you are reveling in those two bottom zones, you better be careful, because very soon you're going to be a dinosaur. Where do we want to be quickly? We want to be either a player, and we want to very definitely be a pioneer. So a player is representative of that picture on the left-hand side. You can see the guys playing a game of soccer, and they know the rules, they know the guidelines, whether or not captains have been elected or not, they're getting on with the job. So they want to play. They're part of the solution. What is the pioneer, therefore, if that is how we describe the characteristics of a player? Well, a pioneer is alive, awake, alert, enthusiastic, they're battle fit, they are highly motivated, they spend a lot of time investing in self-development, and they really are movers and shakers. They are the people who you want to be running business, who you want to be running your business, etc., etc. So ideally, you want to be a pioneer. Jane, if we look at the next slide, you'll see that the world is crying out, it's screaming for these types of characters. So what we do at EduSphere is we will help you in the short time that we've got with you develop a little bit more of your character. So there's that expression: for things to change, I need to change. For things to get better, I need to get better. So get the three fingers pointing at yourself. Say, right, I'm actually the problem here. Let's look in the mirror as that cat is looking and he's seeing a lion. So this could be represented in other ways. It could be a plant wanting to be a tree. It could be baby foundations, baby step foundations of a home or a building, and your bigger objective is that you want to build stories onto that building and make it a significant legacy that you're leaving behind. So if there's one thing you take away from this element with my conversation, is those 3 points in front of you there. So what needs to change in order for me to be inspired and to go forth and to be in a place of employment in a couple of months' time, whether it's self or through other? You need to have a crystal clear vision of what your outcomes are. So you must be able to almost smell it, breathe it, taste it. You need to know what the outcome looks like. So where do you want to be living? What do you want to be doing? How does that business look? What type of business would you like to go and work for, et cetera, et cetera. In order to get there, you need to be a lot more disciplined than we are right now. And I point the same finger at myself. There are habits and their behaviors and their regimented disciplines that we need to be fulfilling. You need to also ask yourself the question, Jane, if you go to the last or second last slide, what's serving me right now? What's not serving me right now? So there's that expression at the top there that tells us that the world's screaming out for even organizations filled with these characters. What are they called? They're called pioneers. We need millions of them. Certainly in South Africa, we've all got a massive role to play in making this place a more successful nation and a happier nation. So at the bottom there, the most important things, and I want to leave you with this point, you want to make a difference, you need to understand what value that you can bring to the party. So what do you value? And then the notion there says, what you do is what you value. So if you're sitting behind your desk right now in your pajamas, you value being in front of a computer screen on a Friday afternoon in your pajamas. In other words, it serves you. That's a silly example. Let me give you another one. I tend to rush quite a bit of the time. So indirectly, rushing seems to serve me. So it's a bit of an odd way of looking at things, but go to the bottom line. What values are serving you and what are not serving you? Because you need to look at that analogy that we'll discuss with you another time that says stop, start, stay. What must I stop doing? What must I start doing? What must I keep doing to get better results? So that's all from my side. Thank you for your time and good luck for the program, and Blessing and I are going to be here to support you. Thanks, Emil.
Okay, everybody, hi again. To all who are new, my name is Ashley. I want to actually, on the first session, I introduced Mama V, our general manager here. And in the spirit of Women's Month, I want to introduce also my supervisor, my friend, my marketing coordinator, acting marketing manager, Asma Sefo over here. Guys, ladies, this is for you. This is your time. Ladies, big ups, you're doing it. Okay, this is Masefo. Say hi.
Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you and good luck with everything. Ashley here is a perfect example of perseverance. If you want to get somewhere and you feel like you're stuck, please remember Ashley's face, because he's an inspiration to all of us at the office, right from Mama V down to all the cleaners and security. Everybody knows Ashley as the guy who walks in and says he's blessed. Whether it's good or bad, he's always blessed. So nice meeting you, everyone.
Ladies, it's your time. Anyways, thank you so much, Asma Sefo. Blessed day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for having me. My name is Ashley Shadu. I am a GRO at the marketing department of Forest Hill Shopping Center, and I have a matric certificate. I studied business foundations and inclusive leadership at EDX, where I am currently pursuing a certificate in marketing. I'm also pursuing a career in law, thank you to the Robosis Property Fund. My year's journey started in February 2019, just after I had lost my second job in 3 months. That was when I was called for an interview at Sandan High School and was later posted for an administrative and institutional support position. I was trained in the South African School Administration and Management System, and 2 weeks in, I was familiar with the software and the school's printing room. The then Principal Edward Makasani posted me in the accounts department, where I was trained as an accounts clerk for the school. My contract did not limit me, so I made it a point not to limit myself. I was everywhere. So last year we had, during not normal times when there was no pandemic, there was a Development Friday, which is basically today, but every last Friday of the month. And this was just to upskill everyone. And those workshops were to upskill us were not in vain. I took those very seriously because it was about my development after all. 6 months into the internship, I was coordinating workshops for years at Sandown High School facilities and facilitating a reading program for grade 8 and 9 with the current principal, Ms. Naika. 9 months in, I was substituting for absent teachers and invigilating final exams. After exams, I captured grades on essay SAMs and compiled results analyses for department and inter-school meetings. At 11 months, unemployment was lurking, okay? And I was faced with a challenge. How was I going to continue to provide for my little brother and older sister, as well as commit to my agreement with UNISA? I started hand delivering my CV at nearby companies at Investec, the Maslow Hotel, shops in Central City, etc., etc. But that was not enough. So Mario, a dear friend of mine, introduced me to Get Prospects, which is a free attachment that generates hundreds of leads in any industry and any position on LinkedIn. So I started generating my leads, putting in late nights and early mornings, trying to reach as many people as I could about my need for a job. And in the end, I was able to reach about 600 people of whom, to my surprise, I was being called for interviews, even on the phone. By the final week of my internship, I was able to find myself 4 viable jobs at a school, warehouse, a web developer, and a corporate company. I obviously went corporate. So, dear colleagues, I know it is overwhelming to know that the job is almost over, especially in this unprecedented time. But one door opens when another door closes. Let us look at this as an opportunity to grow and overcome this mountain with faith that our efforts are not in vain. We are the leaders of tomorrow's world. So what we do today will definitely impact the young ones looking up to us. Know that when you believe in something and visualize it, that thing will eventually have no choice but to manifest. There are always negative things happening to all of us, whether it's difficult people, financial issues, battling to absorb studies, you name it. These are just tests for endurance. We all know that when you overcome, you grow. And if you don't open yourself up for growth, then it may never happen. So let us learn from our mistakes by doing what is calculated to benefit our greater cause. This is called praxis, learning by doing. I would like to finish with a famous statement which goes along the lines of, give a man a fish, you feed him for the night, but give a man a fishing rod and teach him to use it, you feed him for life. So my dearest colleagues, we have been given the fishing rod. And if I had not done something to change my situation, nothing would have happened. The same applies for you. It is all a process of struggle, reflection, finding solutions, and taking action. Armageddon is here. We are all being tested. The journey has just begun. I know you all have it in you. You didn't come this far just to come this far, did you? I thank you so much for your time.
Greeting everybody. My name is Mtutuzi Ngubane from Pietermaritzburg, KZN. I'm a sport coach at Carter High School in Pietermaritzburg. I started this program last year, 2019, in October. I started there as a sport coach and a physical education teacher sometimes. When I started this program, I was thinking that I was going to get job through sports only. But this program changed my mind to think outside the box. As a result, now I have my own business. I've started my business, which is sewing masks. I'm selling them. I'm getting orders. It is great. And I've been able to register my own business now. I have my own company now. It is registered. So the best thing I've achieved during this program is that I've hired 5 people in my community to work with me. Then the other thing is that I have other ideas to start selling chickens in my area. Next month I'm starting it. I'm starting them because it is a demand. And I'm also going to open the internet cafe because people have to walk like 8 to 7 kilometers to the internet cafe. All these things happened because of this program. If you want to achieve something, you must start something. You must first start with the first step and start something, because if you're doing nothing, you will get nothing. But if you start something, you will get something. Thank you.
Hello, Blessing, can you hear me? Blessing? Blessing? Blessing, can you please unmute yourself so that everyone can hear you?
All right, thank you. Now I'm in. Hi guys, Blessing is the name. Thank you very much for powerful motivational, inspirational stuff, and Duduzi, Ashley, Kev, Erica, and everyone on board. So I had a video, I don't know if time, but now with time, I don't know if time permits us, that I don't mind just showing you for just a 3 minutes video. Right, let's just listen.
This is called How Do I Know? And a lot of times when people hear the phrase, how do I know? The next thing they say is what? How do
Blessing, we can't hear the video. I think we need to share the link later. It's not coming
Yeah,
through.
I'll share. I got a mail message just now from Kev. So the gist of the video is about a guy who was in the audience. So this guy is a teacher. He teaches music. And then the host asked him to sing a song. And he casually sings the song. Then after, he gave him a context. He gave him a plot. He gave him situations and circumstances. And he asked him to sing the same song. When he sang the same song, the audience was blown over their feet. Why? Because he had a reason to sing. So you heard what Kevin is speaking, you heard what Mdudizi is saying, you heard what Erica is saying, you heard what Ashley is saying. All they are speaking about is an understanding of my why. With understanding, say, why do I do what I do? Why am I alive? What value do I have? Because surely each and every one of us has value. And these programs and these opportunities that are coming to try and polish you so that you can be that diamond, you can be that brilliant person that the world is looking for. To do the chores to be his own boss. Ashley saying, you know what? I want to work in a marketing environment whilst pursuing my law degree. All of us at the end of the day, what we do, as long as it's driven and motivated by why you do it, you then see that there is intentionality. Everyone is powerful. Everyone is great if they are driven by that desire to create value. You heard what Kevin says. There are some guys that are prisoners. I cannot do anything. 11 months is now gone, like Ashley said. 11 months, I'm about to graduate. I don't have a job. What can I do? Corona, lockdown is there. I was speaking to somebody who actually bought a car in lockdown. And this lady was saying, be it Woman Month as well. She was saying, wow, I thought things are going to just be bad because we are in lockdown, but I'm getting a new car. So it's all about your perspective and understanding. Say the environment changes, but I don't change. I can change my environment. I'm not a prisoner. I'm not a player to say, let me just play along to what people are saying. I just do just enough. I want to drop CVs. Let me just drop enough CVs. Let me just to get going. I am a pioneer. I'm a master of my own universe. I like what Ashley mentioned earlier. He said, he spoke something about life not supporting thought, but action. So your intentions, we have all wonderful intentions, wonderful dreams, but we need to act. So what is my role? My role with you guys is to just come and walk along with you, to support you, to say, Blessing, I just need a sounding board. Like recently, I've got about 2 guys that were going for interviews this week. So mention Blessing, this is what I want to do. I'm like, okay, quickly go and check there, go and check online, check on their website. Okay, you want to be into sales, quickly go to an outlet of theirs. Don't go to the one where you are holding the interview. Otherwise, it will be something else. Go and ask similar questions so that you are better prepared. So the other one just went for the second interview. We are just waiting for the outcome. So it is action. Everyone around you is supporting you because we believe in you. The YES program invested in you, gave you this opportunity. Why? Because we believe that you are what South Africa needs. You are what the world needs. So all the support is there. But at the end of the day, if it has to be done, it has to be done by me. Like what Mdudizi mentioned, he says making masks. He's wanting to start an internet cafe. He's solving a need. Money is there to reward problem solvers. So my question that I have for you as I finish is to say this. What do you think you are wired to solve? What problems are you wired to solve? In the school, they will tell you that time in the school, there was things that they went for, but there were other things that they were coming. There were other problems that were coming up and popping up. And they were saying, you know what, I'm here to solve the problem. When you're a problem solver, you always have problems to solve. Either you solve them by trying to survive or you solve them by determining what happens. So that's what we are all about to say. Now, guys, we should have started planning for our exit when we start, but we are here now. Month 11, some it's month 12, month 13. What can we do to get the outcome we want? Let's push, let's drive. Sometimes you might have to do 800 interviews, 800 CVs, go through 10 interviews until your door opens. If it does not open up for you, it's not your door. It has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with the door being, when you celebrated, people who enjoy you being around them, and they'll give you the opportunities you want. Back to you, Erica.
Okay. Right. Thank you. Thank you, Blessing. So I think all of this speaks for itself. As we started off the session saying, the purpose of the YES program really is to expose you. You've had a lot of time to do 26 learning modules, and I think by now all of you should have completed those modules. Those modules give insight into your thinking, it's into attitude, it's into action, and it is most definitely also into skills. So how to prepare your CVs, how to show up, how to communicate effectively, all of those are modules which by now you should have completed. Ashley's was very clear. He spoke about his determination. He knew that he couldn't let his sister and his brother down because he is supporting them, and he needs to support himself. So there was no option but to push very hard in getting a permanent job so that he can remain employed, so that he can have food, so that he can have accommodation, so that he can make his life, and so that he can continue studying. And studying is important because it is his dream to become a lawyer one day. So there was no option to fail. If there's no option to fail, well, there's only a choice to succeed. It's quite simple. If you don't fail, you succeed. So to push for success is what we are encouraging you to do, is to really answer, as Kevin and as Blessing has said, is why are you doing what you are doing? Or why are you not doing what you are doing? So why are you not sending out your CVs? Why are you not getting action? Why are you not motivated? You really need to look at that. Is it comfortable? Do you have people to pay for you? Are you not interested in having another salary? When your salary comes to an end, is that okay for you? Or do you want to be able to provide? Do you want financial independence? Do you want to have freedom and success and stand on your own 2 feet versus dependency? So please, this session here was organized so that it stimulates your thinking and so that it grows you. And we will ask you to make a choice. You've heard 2 very different stories. Ashley knew that he needs the security of a permanent job, and he needs to know what he's got every month so that he can have the stability to continue his studies. And Duduzi has presented something very different. And Duduzi is still on the YES program, but to all of you, I sent a message out a couple of months ago when COVID started about sewing machines. Who has a sewing machine and who is interested? Some of you responded to me and we haven't yet been able to get back to you. But Nduduzi was one of them. He said, Erica, I've got 2 sewing machines. And so we were very fortunate. We went down to KZN and we were able to give 1 or 2 contracts. And from that, he saw that with the sewing machine, I can make money. And I can not only make money for me, but I can employ. He is employing 5 people. So he is now saying, I don't have to sew. I just have to get the business. But here are other people who can sew. And if I am good at getting business, I'm going to look at, like Blessing was saying, what other problems are there in the society to solve? He knows that people walk a long way for chickens and to use the internet. So he has decided, if nobody else is doing it, I'm going to solve that problem. I am going to open an internet cafe and I will be the supplier of chickens. So how do I do that becomes the question. Not what do I do, it's how do I solve this problem so that I have a business. And Duduzi also knew that he can't invoice us really if we want to take him seriously in his personal capacity. If you want to have business with a businessman, you are engaging with a business address, with a business name, with a business bank account. All of those things he has actioned, and he's not waiting until the YES program is finished. He has started doing that now, so that by the time the program is finished, he will be earning the same or more in terms of his own income through the business that he is generating. So just like Ashley, both of them were absolutely and are absolutely determined to stay financially stable, to continue having a regular income, and to continue growing their income. Ashley knows it's maybe a longer time until he's a lawyer. So I'll be so proud of you. If I don't get invited to that graduation, I'm going to be really upset, Ashley. So that is something he's been dreaming about for a long time. So he is patient, but he is determined to walk that same path, very, very focused. And Nduduzi is also focused. He is not wasting his time sending CVs. And Nduduzi is focused on establishing a business and getting customers. So after this presentation today, we will be sending you a link, a survey link, to say, are you committed to investing in yourself? Do you want our support, and do you want to participate in Zoom meetings like this again, or in webinars, or do you want some personal support for us to help you to achieve your goals? If the answer is yes, then you will respond to that survey and tell us, yes, I am committed. Yes, I see value in participating in these kind of sessions. And yes, I am committed to achieving my goals. Then will come the second question. After we've done the first initial introduction, we will ask you to put yourself into one or another group. You cannot be in both groups. You can't say, I'm going to send my CV out, but if it doesn't work, maybe I'll open my own business. Because that's not how you attract what you want. So we are asking you after the session to really go and think about it. Do you want employment? Then we focus all your effort and attention on finding that employment. Or do I want to be an entrepreneur? Then we forget about sending CVs. Then we focus completely on what is the problem I'm solving, and therefore I will have customers. And look very close to your community on who those potential customers can be. So you have to choose. I want to walk the path of employment. And like I said, if you are still studying and you need time, whatever, you can choose other employments, but you need to stay employed so that you've got income to continuously pay for your studies. On the other side, do I want to pursue self-employment? So there are only two choices. The choice of, didn't work, so I'm going to continue staying at the school and volunteer, is not going to work, and I will tell you why. So all of you know that you are on the program because somebody has funded you. There is a funder, in your case, I think it's Toyota or Oracle or someone like that, who has funded your salary. The school also knows that they selected you for a variety of reasons. They knew you, or you were doing good work, or you were volunteering or whatever, but somehow you landed up at that school. So for the school they must know, and I will speak to all those supervisors and principals, that in 2 months' time, if there is no paid job at the school, you will leave the school because you have to remain in employment. So you will leave the school. If the school is going to start crying to say, okay, you can't take that person away because now there's nobody doing administration and finance and sport and ECD and all those things that you are doing, then the school has to either pay you or know that they must support you to get a permanent job. If the school has supported you to get a permanent job or to go into your own business, we in turn will continue to support the school if we get additional funding. And we only continue to get funding if you exit in the way that we showed at the beginning, if you exit into permanent employment. So if we say to the funder, we've kept the people here on the program for 12 months, but there's no jobs, we will not get any more money to put more people into the program. So the responsibility is entirely up to you. If someone else gets an opportunity like you have had, and the school continues to get another resource, and if they fund in the first place. So both of those are conditions only if you have made it into permanent employment or self-employment. So there's a lot of responsibility on you, not only to ensure your own financial freedom and your financial success and your personal freedom and success, but also those of those who are following behind you. You have got excellent role models. Someone like Ashley has walked ahead of you. Because he has succeeded so well, another company invested so that you could have this journey. If you want someone else to have this opportunity, after you need to become the next Ashley and the next Nduduzi. Okay? And are we all clear? Show me, are we clear? Do you understand the responsibility that is on you? Okay, thank you. I hear you. So we want more Ashleys and more Nduduzis out there. We support you to do that. And we are offering you support by joining the EduSphere 360 program. So I think we have kept incredibly well to time. We are exceptionally professional this time. We had less emotion, which is also good and not good. But we were very professional. We've stood exactly to time. I really have enjoyed your feedback in the chat section. I think Nduduzi and Ashley, you got quite a lot of comments that you have been a great inspiration to others. And we thank you for having joined our session and for having given up your time this afternoon to be here for all of us. Jane, I would like to compliment you for running the session so smoothly. Jane is also still a Yes Youth, and she's managing all our office. I can't do any of my work without Jane anymore. She's really become the personal secretary, and the whole HR of Youth at Work is resting on Jane. So well done to you, Jane. You're running this incredibly well. Yes, big hands up for Jane, who keeps you posted on all those WhatsApp groups and messages and speaks to the principals and all of that. So that now I'm going to close. So you are welcome to continue on the chat group to give us some feedback. Did you enjoy today's session? What did you get out of it? Did you learn from it? Did you benefit from it? And do you want to join another session like this? So let us know. Let me see your comments now. And then we, all of us, Kevin, Blessing, all of us, wish you clarity. We wish you time to really think about your future, time to think about your attitude, time to think about your next step, the action that you are going to take. And we look forward to walking these next 2 months with you. This is a very exciting and absolutely critical part of the program. You have done phenomenally well to stay committed to your school and to stay committed to the program and doing all of what we have asked you to do. Now, the big step begins. Now you need to push yourself outside of that school and into the next opportunity. So thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful weekend. Please keep responsive with us. Stay in these sessions. It's lovely to see you all here. We are all learning to be more professional, to show up. By next time there should be, and I want to especially say, Tandiwe, you look beautiful today. Very excited to see you like this on the screen. And also everybody, please next time see that your name is up. That we don't talk to a IEJ50J, blah, 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 or a Hawaii number 10 or 9, but that all of your names are up. And slowly we will be sharing the platform so that you too can share your story with the rest. Okay. Oh, I see a message over here. Can we send the presentation to you? Absolutely. I will write an email next week to the principals to also explain that your journey is coming to an end and that you have to go and you have to get into permanent employment, unless they find a job for you at school, which you are happy to accept. And also to explain how can they get future funding. They really have to also help you to get into that next job so that they can continue to have youth at their school. Otherwise, we cannot continue to support the school. So yes, we will share the PowerPoint presentation with you. We will invite you via the survey. We will inform the principals. But all of that will be next week. Now it's Friday afternoon, and I too am looking forward to a good long weekend and the Youth at Work team. So I think we've worked hard and we deserve those couple of days off. But stay warm, stay safe, stay healthy, and we look forward to working the next journey with you. Bye-bye, everybody. Keep writing those chats. See you soon. Thank you, Nduduzi, Ashley, everybody. Bye. Thank you, Zandile. I see your message. Thank you, Blessing. Yes, go and spoil those mommies and other women.